welcome to another House of Wisdom knife video. This review is going to be a different one for me in several aspects. First of all, it'll be the first review I've done where I'm reviewing a fixed blade knife. I've done over 200 knife videos and I've never reviewed a fixed blade knife. I'm more of a modern folder reviewer. The other thing that's going to be different about this is that instead of reviewing knives that you take to work or take into the woods, I'm going to be reviewing table flatware. It's a fixed blade knife, but it doesn't come with a sheath. It's not designed to be carried. It's made to stay in the house, in the kitchen, and at the dining table. I was considering steak knives the other day. I have some steak knives that are deteriorating. This is an example of one of them. This is a J.A. Hinkle's knife, and as you can tell, the plastic handle is cracking and breaking and coming apart, and you can see some more cracks there. And it looks like it's a full tang knife because it has this metal end cap, and you'd think that the blade goes all the way through, but it really doesn't. So once the plastic handle breaks, the blade just comes off, and this is a blade that's made in China, you can see there. So it's an expensive version of a cheap knife. I'm going to talk to you about the regular kind of knives that you get, and this is a steak knife that's an inexpensive steak knife. It is one that you might find at Walmart. And this blade is not a forged blade, it's just a thin piece of metal that's cut and stamped. And so this is never sharpened. It relies on these stamped serrations to make any cut, but it's very dull and it comes to you dull. And the handle is made of a plastic. It has these faux rivets, but it's not a full tang knife because whenever you go like this, and with time, as the handle separates from the blade, you can have some moving of the handle. If it's a full tang blade, it won't move. Plus, full tang blades usually show it off by showing you the blade going all the way to the end of the knife. So this is your cheap made in China knife that you can get at any Walmart, for example. This is a more expensive knife. This is a Wurstoff knife. Instead of being made in China, it's made in Germany. And it's not a stamped blade, it's a forged blade. So it's a real billet of metal, and they sharpen it with a grinder, and it's a full tang blade because the same metal that composes the blade comes all the way through to the end of the knife, and they show that off. And these rivets are real rivets. It has a polymer handle, so that's handy, and it's dishwasher safe. So this is the equivalent of a high-end production knife. It's made in Germany. 4 of these will cost you $120, $140, so it's a little higher price point, but it comes with higher quality. And I searched and I asked myself the question, are there any knife makers that make it in premium steels like Modern Folders, M390? And I found a couple. One is in Europe. I'll throw a picture of it up here. It's made by Ryan Cliff. It comes in M390. It costs $380. It's sold in euros, but if you convert that to dollars with the shipping, it's $380. So really, it's out of the price point of most people to own. And it has that Japanese vibe about it and styling. And I asked myself, was there a U.S. manufacturer that makes knives in M390? And yes, there is. And here it is. It is the Gatsby by Brad Larkin. Brad Larkin is the owner and operator of Bradford Knives. It's based in Kent, Washington. And it is a great knife made of M390. See right there, it's got a premium steel in a steak knife. And it comes to you really sharp, and you can tell that it is made by with pride by a guy that makes fixed blades. It has this stonewashed mirror finish, and here you can see my tripod and everything because it just reflects the light perfectly. And it comes sharp. I'm going to do a cut test and show you that it really slices through paper or whatever you have, steak namely, because it's made by pride by a fixed blade maker. I'm going to talk to you about the specifications now. The blade length on this fixed blade knife is 4.5 inches. The handle length is 5 inches long. And the total knife length is 9.5 inches. The weight of the knife is only 2.7 ounces. We'll talk about the blade. It's made of M390 in this stonewashed mirror polished finish The Gatsby comes in two forms. One is a regular straight blade and the other is a clip point blade. This is the clip point blade, and here you can see the transition where it comes off straight and then the clip point starts. And they're basically the same length and same weight and everything. The clip point was on sale for $20 off. The normal knife is $160. The clip point was selling for $140, so I got the clip point blade. They're essentially the same. The blade comes with a full flat grind. It has a stock thickness of 110 thousandths. It is a full tang construction knife, meaning that the blade stock continues all the way to the heel of the knife. And the sharpening ricasso is well placed just beyond the plunge grind, and it is sharp all the way to the tip of that knife. The spine is not chamfered, and there's no jimping because you don't need it. It's just going to be cutting a steak. It's not going to be any hard use situations. The handle is made of a natural canvas micarta. Every edge is rounded and chamfered, and then there is contouring of the handle. As you can tell, there's a swell where your palm would go, and then where your index fingers go and grab it, there's a little place here that fits that well. And the ergonomics on the knife are great. It fits like a glove in your hand. It feels very good. The signage on the knife is minimal. It just has the maker mark, Bradford, USA, and then the steel designation, which in this case is M390. They make it in a cheaper steel too, but I chose the M390. The value of the knife is, it goes for $160. I got the clip point because it was on sale for $140, and that's the Gatsby. So what are my impressions about the Bradford Gatsby steak knife? I really like it. If there is a defect in it, I haven't been able to find it. The only disadvantage I would think to owning this knife is that it would be a knife that you wouldn't throw in a dishwasher because of its micarta handle. You'd probably want to hand wash it and then dry it so it doesn't deteriorate. What do I like about the knife? In a word, M390. It is one of the only steak knives in the world that uses a premium steel. There needs to be at least one maker who makes a knife with a premium steel for steel snobs like me, and Brad Larkin did it. Thank you, Brad. And the handle, instead of a polymer or wood handle, the Gatsby uses micarta, and this handle is beautiful. It's well polished and contoured and tapered. It's just a beautiful, great feeling handle in the hand. The fit and finish on the knife are flawless. Where the rivets meet the micarta and the blade tang meet the micarta, you cannot feel any transition at all. It is perfectly made. And the ergonomics, because of that, are great. Of the contoured taper handle, it just fits like a glove in your hand. And it's made in the USA by a knife maker, a fixed blade maker, Brad Larkin, who cares enough to put a sharp edge on it before he sends it out. In summary, the Bradford Gatsby is one of the best steak knives in the industry. It uses high quality steel M390, and it's a thing of beauty in its materials, ergonomics, and fit and finish. If you are looking for the best steak knife in the world, the Bradford Gatsby is it.